faces of people passing by. I see friends shaking hands, singing, how do you do? They really say, I love you.
Good morning. Good morning and welcome to West Bend East High School's 2021 commencement program. My name is Tyler Wood, Assistant Principal at East High School. We have several announcements for you prior to today's festivities. Graduation is an important, dignified, and joyful occasion for both students and their families. We ask that you refrain from making comments or noises during the program and to hold your applause until all graduates have received their diplomas. This way, all students' names will be heard, acknowledged, and respected. We also ask that all cell phones be silenced or turned off at this time. There will be a professional photographer taking pictures of each graduate as they receive their diploma. Families will receive an email with instructions for ordering prints. And finally, we ask that all members of the audience remain in your seats during the program until all graduates have left the field house. You'll be able to meet your graduate in the west parking lot after the graduates have picked up their diploma at the conclusion of the ceremony. Thank you.
They'll learn much.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the East graduating class, we would like to welcome you to the 2021 East Commencement Ceremony. At this time, we were asked for you to rise and direct your attention to the stage for the national anthem performed by Haley Porter, Laura Zauner, Paige Hauk, and Josie Lorenz.
Say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose bright stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does the star-spangled banner yet wave?
Thank you, and please be seated. We thank you for attending this year's graduation ceremony.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. The graduation committee has chosen the following for our class theme this year: You're braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, and smarter than you think. Quoted from Christopher Robin.
At this time, please welcome our superintendent, Ms. Wimmer, to share a few words of inspiration to the class of 2021.
Welcome graduates, families, friends, staff, and thank you all for being here. This class will always hold a special place in my heart. While I was at last year's graduation ceremony, you are my first true graduating class as superintendent of West Bend. So I can't play favorites all the time, but like I said, this one's gonna be a little bit special. Congratulations to all of you graduates. You made it, has a little bit more meaning this year. You're a class that exceeds all expectations, even the expected temperatures for your special day. To your families and friends, my personal thanks for supporting your seniors so they could get here today. A lot was asked of you too, and we appreciate the support that you provided. Graduates, most of all, I commend you for your resilience. Resilience is a term frequently used in education, and it means figuring things out in the face of challenges. You're adaptable. In person, virtual, distance learning, this is a class that can do it all. You're self-aware. You knew doing distance learning, lying in bed with your pajamas on, probably wasn't a good long-term plan. You're optimistic. You believe that you could pull off things like prom and this graduation with a little creative thinking and a lot of solid negotiating skills, and you did it. Gregory Williams said, "On the other side of a storm is the strength that comes from having navigated through it." Raise your sail and begin. My very best wishes to each of you at this exciting time of your life.
Thank you, Ms. Wimmer. I would like to introduce this year's Mistress of Ceremonies, Maya Dodens. Maya has been involved in Key Club International, National Honor Society, Sociology Honor Society, and is a lead volunteer at Cedar Community. Next year, she will be attending the University of Minnesota Twin Cities on a pre-med school route.
Thank you, Tyler. And I would like to introduce to you this year's Master of Ceremonies, Tyler Foisey. Tyler has been involved in Youth Impact Club, concert choir, and helped run the Nifty Nibble this year. Next year, he will be attending Fox Valley Technical College to pursue baking and pastry.
Thank you, Maya. I would like to introduce our first student speaker, Emily Canales. Emily was involved in forensics, girls swim, and FBLA. Next year, Emily will be attending University of Wisconsin-Madison to study international business with future plans to attend law school. Emily is also salutatorian for East High School this year.
To all of my peers in the class of 2021, congratulations. We have finally made it to the day we have awaited for so long, high school graduation. I hope you all take pride in being here today because this truly is a significant accomplishment. I know we have all worked so hard to get here today, but we couldn't have done it without the support and dedication of our friends, family members, and especially our teachers. I hope you all take a moment to thank the people who have helped you grow and succeed to become the person you are today. Throughout high school, and especially in the past year, we have faced many hardships and difficult changes. There's no doubt about that. But it is through these times where our obstacles seemed almost too big to overcome that we surprised ourselves and others with what we are truly capable of. By persevering and succeeding despite these trials and tribulations, you have proved that you truly are braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, and smarter than you think. Asking for help, Asking for help when you're struggling, trying a new activity that may be intimidating, or holding yourself accountable for your responsibilities, you must show your courage to be brave enough to leave your comfort zone. As you continue through your life, you must keep proving to yourself and others that you are braver than you believe, by challenging the status quo, seeking change, and taking part in everyday acts of courage. The newfound independence we have gained will bring its own unique set of experiences and hardships that we have never faced before. Between the challenges of continuing your education, learning a trade, or entering the workforce or armed forces, we must continue to show our strength by facing these difficulties head-on and overcoming them. By not backing away, you are developing your strength and embracing discomfort and pushing yourself. Just as you build physical strength by working out your muscles under resistance, you will likewise build your mental and emotional strength by confronting your challenges. The resistance of facing these difficulties head-on will make you stronger. With these newly developed strengths, the issues and trying situations you may face will become less intimidating and easier to overcome. In addition to learning from your mistakes, it is especially important to keep growing as a person and improving upon yourself. This personal growth and development will lead you to become more successful, gain powerful and impactful skills, and continue showing your smarts each day. By learning from your mistakes, solving your own problems, and taking initiative to grow and improve, you prove to yourself and others that you truly are smarter than you think. Now that high school is coming to an end, the endless possibilities of the future are staring back at us. You can choose to do whatever you want and go wherever you choose with this future. It is completely yours for the taking. Just remember the hardships and challenges you have already overcome and how you have already surprised yourself and others with what you are capable of. As you enter the future, continue challenging yourself to grow and remember that you are braver than you seem, braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, and smarter than you think. Thank you.
Thank you, Emily. Our second student speaker will be Sunshine Prost. Sunshine was involved in Key Club International, National Honor Society, forensics, and soccer. Next year, Sunshine will be attending the University of Wisconsin-Madison to study biology. Sunshine is also a valedictorian for East High School this year.
Congratulations, West Bend East, class of 2021. We've made it. We have finally arrived at this point in our lives, which I am certain you have all long awaited, just as I have. In fact, 4 years ago around this time, I was sitting in the Badger Middle School gym at my 8th grade promotion, thinking to myself, just 4 more years. I viewed my upcoming high school experience like washing the dishes or vacuuming the living room, some tedious chore to hastily complete so I could finally move on and do something more interesting with my life. Simply put, I was waiting for high school to be over before it even began. Nonetheless, as I was once told by teachers, parents, and upperclassmen alike, high school flew by so quickly. And now I'm finally in the moment my younger self yearned for. But after 4 years of waiting for this very occasion to arrive, I find it bittersweet. Because I now understand what I missed out upon with my entire focus fixated upon the future. I keep reminiscing about the soccer games I played, the fun times I shared with friends, and the classes where I laughed so hard my stomach hurt afterwards. My mind crawls back into these memories, and I can't help but wish my body would follow, and that I could live through these moments once more. If only I could tell my younger self to simply appreciate how lucky she was to be alive in those beautiful moments, moments that so rapidly faded to mere memories. However, dwelling upon the past can be just as pointless as fixating upon the future. In doing so, we become distracted from the amazing things happening right in front of us. Sometimes, we just need a reminder to exist in the present. Now, while you sit here at this long ceremony, it may be difficult not to reminisce about your own high school experience or daydream about your upcoming college or career plans. But I encourage all of you to just take a minute and solely exist in this moment. Take a look around, notice your proud family in the stands, or the classmate who you are sitting next to for the very last time. Revel in this new sense of strength and bravery you never believed you had in you, that feeling that you are ready to take on the world and conquer each and every challenge thrown your way. Cherish this moment that your younger self could only imagine and that your future self will look back upon with fond longing. Because you will never graduate high school again. Right now, you are living through this wonderfully unique, rapidly fleeting, once-in-a-lifetime moment. And you deserve to enjoy each and every part of it. Thank you.
Thank you, Sunshine. Our musical selection for this morning will be Alyssa Markgraf, Braden Schultz, Chris Myers, Flora Confura, Haley Porter, Katrina Warzen, Laura Zautner, Lauren Opperman, Megan Zemke, Nathan Birch, Sam Belfield, Samantha Wagner, and myself singing My Wish by Ed Lojeski.
I hope the days come easy and the moments pass slow, and each road leads you where you want to go. Days make a choice and you have to choose, so choose the one that means the most to you.
One door opens to another door closed. I hope you keep on walking till you find a window.
If it's cold outside, show the world the warmth of your smile. But more than anything, my wish for you is that this life becomes all that you wanted to. Your dreams stay big, your worries stay small. You never need to carry more than you can hold. I know you have everything you need to. I hope you know somebody loves you and wants to sing this to. That is my wish. I hope you never look back, but you never forget all the ones who love you and the place you left. I hope you always forgive and you never regret, and you help somebody every chance you get. Oh, you'll find God's grace in every mistake, and always give more than you take. But more than anything, yeah, more than anything, my wish for you is that this life becomes all that you wanted to. Your dreams stay big, your worries stay small. You never need to carry more than you can hold. I know you have everything you need to. I hope you know somebody loves you and wants to sing this to. That this is my wish.
Thank you, everyone. Haley Porter will now introduce this year's class memorial. Haley will be going to the University of Wisconsin-Madison to study biochemistry. Haley is involved in Youth Impact Club, National Honor Society, and softball.
Today, I've been granted the opportunity to speak about our 2021 class memorial. Over multiple meetings and many thoughtful collaborations, the East Graduation Committee decided to revamp our lovely East Tower with a fresh coat of paint, include new glass art above the doors and in the staircase windows, and to remove the old artwork that was displayed on the wall and replace it with a more modernized East High School logo. With these new additions to our school, we hope that classes to come will remember our accomplishments and achievements, and that looking back, we feel as if we have left an impact on West Bend East High School. Thank you to everyone who worked hard to make this gift possible. And thank you to Mr. Graff and Mrs. Morrison for coordinating with the East Graduation Committee to make this gift more personalized from our student body representatives.
Thank you, Haley. Now we will hear from our faculty speaker, Mr. Mindel. He has taught global studies and AP Human Geography for the past 28 years. He received his bachelor's degree in history and secondary education from Carroll College and his master's degree in history from the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee. I am pleased to introduce Mr. Scott Mindel, my bestie, and our faculty speaker for the class of 2021.
Apparently I have a new bestie, and I'm okay with that. To you members of our administration, distinguished guests, my fellow colleagues, family members and friends, and especially to you, graduating class of 2021. First, let me take this opportunity to thank the graduation committee for selecting me to have the honor and privilege to address you on your graduation. It seems fitting that we should meet together one last time, just as you did 4 short years ago at the beginning of your journey here at the high school. Little did you know at the time what a unique journey these past 4 years would be. Back then, you were starting a new phase in your life. Some of you excited to begin that new phase, some of you a little anxious of what this new phase would bring, and some of you just plain happy and maybe a little surprised that you made it to high school. I'm sure some of those same thoughts are going through some of your minds once again as you sit here today. Let's first talk about what today's ceremony is. This is a commencement ceremony. To commence means to begin. Therefore, this graduation ceremony is not an end. It's just the opposite. It's the beginning of a new phase in your life. You should rightfully be proud of your accomplishments to this point in your life. If you think you're proud of yourself, and you should be, just think of your families and friends. They are extremely proud of you. If you feel relieved, and you should, I'm sure you can't even imagine the sense of relief that they're feeling right now. You know, now might be the best time to ask them for some money. Now, I fully realize that this speech will not be remembered 10, 15, 20 years from now. Some of you won't even remember this speech next week. Right now, I'm sure many of you wish I would just get this speech over with. That being said, the goal of my speech is to make you think about the way that you're going to approach your future from this day forward. Months ago, after members of the graduation committee asked me to address you today, I began contemplating what I should say to you. Now, I last addressed the East graduates exactly 5 years ago to this day, 2016. And I also did it in 2004 as well. So I could just have repeated either of those messages. I might be doing that right now. You wouldn't even know. But just as every graduating class is different, so too should the message be to that particular class. Your class has certainly experienced some unique things during your high school career, to say the least. Let's go back a couple of months ago. It's quite ironic that about the same time that I was asked to be today's speaker, we were covering Japan in our global studies curriculum. We had just talked about what's called the Japanese economic miracle and how Japan transformed itself into a global economic power rather quickly after having 2 atomic bombs dropped on it to end World War II. There were a number of things that had to work together to make this miracle happen in Japan, and one of the necessary elements was, and still is, the Japanese cultural attitude and ethic towards work. To say that they're driven to succeed in the business world might be a little bit of an understatement. Perhaps you've heard of corporations like Honda, Sony, Nissan, Mitsubishi, and Toyota. It's no accident that those corporations are some of the most powerful in the world. I think that we can learn something about how we can and should approach things in life if we look at them through the lens of Japanese culture and some of Japanese thought-provoking proverbs. Now, as I go through some of these proverbs, I would like you to think to yourself exactly how these proverbs would apply to your own unique situation in life. How does it apply to where you've been? And also, more importantly, where you would like to go. All of these assume that you've set a goal or goals for yourselves. That's the necessary first step. As the Japanese would say, vision without action is a daydream. Action without vision is a nightmare. Without goals, you are destined to wander aimlessly through life, and both you and your parents don't want you to be living in their basement when you're 30 years old. Start first with establishing goals for yourself. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? What is your goal? Now, with that goal in mind, let me begin with the Japanese proverb that says, "Don't be afraid of going slowly, be afraid of standing still." This quote is also often attributed to Confucius, the Chinese philosopher. You know, we live in a world that oftentimes expects instant results. Sometimes the desired results are not so instant. Don't be discouraged if achieving your desired goal doesn't come on your desired timetable. The key is to never stop your progress towards your goal, no matter how slow the progress may seem. You know, I just ran into a former student athlete of mine who said he had finally settled into his career path. He went to the University of Wisconsin, Madison, majoring in engineering. But it wasn't until he was almost finished with his master's degree that he determined that civil engineering was the correct path. The final outcome took a while for him to see very clearly, but he maintained a path of progress towards his goal, and now he's embarking on a career that is fulfilling to him. Now, the next quote may sound kind of peculiar. It reads, "The frog in the well knows not the great sea." It means don't limit your perspective and therefore limit your possibilities and opportunities. If you stay in the small well, you will never know the possibilities and opportunities that exist for you in the big sea. Expand your horizons. There's an interesting world out there for you to experience and contribute to. Don't be afraid to swim in that big sea. Next proverb is, "If you try, you may succeed. If you don't try, you will not succeed." This is true for all things. Not succeeding is the result of not trying. This is basically saying, don't be afraid of failure. Failure is a great educator. Learn from your mistakes, but don't be afraid to make them in the first place. If you live in fear of making mistakes, you're going to regret the opportunities that are lost. Life's too short to not be able to take advantage of the opportunities when they exist. You never know when and or if they will ever present themselves again. The Japanese would also say, "We learn little from victory, much from defeat." You know, I had a former student a number of years ago in my home base, and let's just say that high school was not his strength. In fact, he wasn't even able to finish high school here in West Bend. However, he did not let that roadblock, that setback, failure, whatever term you want to use, deter him from achieving his goal. He entered military service, came back to visit me a couple of years ago, and he said, "That decision was the best thing that ever happened to him. Did he make some mistakes earlier in his life? I'm sure he would be the first to admit that. However, he wasn't going to let those mistakes define and dictate the rest of his life. You have to keep trying. Remember, even Yoda said, "Do or do not. There is no try." Finally, and related to that, there's the Japanese proverb, 7 times over, 8 times up. What this is trying to reinforce is that the key to your success is not how many times you get knocked down, take a detour along the way, or suffer a setback to achieving your goal. Rather, the key is that you pick yourself back up again and continue your work to achieving that goal. Pick yourself up more times than you've been knocked down, and you will achieve. Don't give up so easily. Expect to have to put in some work to achieve your goal. Again, the Japanese would say, beginning is easy, continuing is hard. Remember, persistence is the key. Now, certainly, the last 15 months has caused you to be challenged in many different ways as students, let alone as individual human beings. This global pandemic has caused everyone's lives to be altered in some way. You've had to adjust on the fly with new ways of having information delivered to you by some of us teachers who are trying to adjust on the fly right along with you. We had to get used to doing things, a lot of things, virtually in an unprecedented time in history. There were many obstacles to the ability to do many things in person, not just school. However, like millions of your peers, you figured out how to adjust to those challenges. The very fact that you are here today is a testament to your resiliency and your determination. However, I would like to say to you that this new virtual world that we have become accustomed to should not be the one that you settle for. I encourage you to live in the present, live in the real world, and make personal and human connections. I'm sure a lot of you found out very early this year that learning virtually, no matter how creative or innovative your teachers could be, was not an equal substitute for having that classroom dialogue, discussion, and the corresponding experiences. We are social beings, and the quality of our society going forward into the future requires leaders of tomorrow, you, to know how to interact with each other in a meaningful and respectful way. Learn how to actually talk to people face to face, communicate with others. Along with that, I would encourage you to live your own life, not virtually through someone else's posts on social media or trying to emulate them virtually through your own life. If you get too wrapped up in trying to live through someone else's lens, you'll be disappointed more often than not. Be your own person. The Japanese would say, 10 men, 10 colors. We might say, you do you. Use the knowledge, skills, critical thinking abilities that me and my colleagues have instilled in you to help you achieve your goals and make the world a better place. Be productive global citizens. Give back to your community by finding your own way to give back. Live a fulfilled life. The Japanese have a term for this. It's called ikigai. It means one's purpose in life, the reason you get up in the morning. And you can discover it at the intersection of 4 different things. Something that you have a passion for, something that you're good at, something that the world needs, and something that you can get paid to do. Follow your passion, follow your talent. Approach your life as something that you will create rather than something that you allow to happen to you. Stay active, surround yourself with good people, smile, live in the moment. Go out and do good things. I wish you all the success and happiness that you dream for. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mindel. Our principal, John Graff, will speak next and present this year's candidates. This is Mr. Graff's second year as principal at East High School, and he has done a great job this year.
So I think that term changed like 4 times in the master and mistress script, so thanks for the great job part. Before we present the class of 2021 with their diplomas, I'd like to thank the families and educators who have joined us here today for this special occasion. Your support and steady influence has given the graduates in front of me positive guidance and support when they've needed it the most. Furthermore, I'd like to recognize, like Superintendent Wimmer said, the resiliency of this class that you have displayed over the last 15 months to reach this milestone in your life's journey. At this time, I would like to recognize some of our outstanding students at East High School. I'd like all the graduates who have enlisted in the military to please stand, as well as past and present military members in our audience. Let's give them a round of applause. Thank you for your service. In addition to those who serve in the armed forces, we recognize at East the power of volunteering. Always mindful of others, many of our students recognize the importance of giving back to their community. For those graduates who volunteered over 100 hours of community service, please stand to be recognized. Many of you have achieved remarkable successes during your time at East in different ways. I wish I could share them all. For some, however, your accomplishments in the classroom deserve our respect and the time to be honored. At this time, I would ask that our East valedictorians stand as your name is called. Cameron McCardle and Sunshine Prost. Next, the graduates of the East class of 2021 will be coming on stage to receive their diplomas. Planning a high school graduation takes months of preparation, especially this year, patience, and in this case, last-second adjustments. To that end, I have the great fortune to work with a thoughtful and inspiring group of seniors who have helped me planning in a day that appropriately recognizes this senior class. At this time, if you are part of the East Graduation Committee, please stand. In closing, many of you will leave West Bend in pursuit of other ambitions. I hope, however, you will not forget what East meant to you and what you mean to us. Keep doing the right thing and acknowledge that the people surrounding you here today will always care and support you. On behalf of the West Bend School District, we are proud of you and wish you nothing but the best. Ms. Wimmer, Mr. Ongert, Mr. Zweigert, it is my honor to present to you the East class of 2021.
Emily Canales.
Sunshine Cross.
Isabella Falk.
Haley Porter.
Laura Zautner. Paige Howe.
Ella Arkin.
Grace Butters. Braden Schultz.
Katrina Warzen.
Samantha Belfield.
Josie Lorenz.
Lisha Diaz.
Breely Birkin. Monifa Morris.
Tatum Stromberg.
Lexi Weatherby.
Scott Harmon. Sia Hernandez. Saya, sorry. Reina Hernandez.
Elizabeth Stepson.
Grayson Pokrant.
Genevieve Fraunfelker. Elise Marlette.
Lauren Schiltz. Nathan Birch. Flora Confira. Veronica Habersetzer.
Leanna Ward. Juju Hathaway. Nerary Cisneros.
Kelton Price.
Annabella Walker.
Emerson Heller.
Ashlyn Blankenberg. Emma Terwilliger.
Ella Baraboo.
Ashley Goddard.
Calvin Karnitz.
Jacob Biedenbender.
Gavin Nanez.
Kiernan McKay.
August Cowells.
Dakota Dura.
Demarius Clayton.
Mason Shirkey.
Dakota Ratsberg.
Audrey Meyer.
Alexander Frommer. Gavin Howe. Aiden Orth.
Michael Rigo.
Hayden Lloyd. Joey Sommerfeld.
Curtis Mergel.
Devin Duhome.
Haley Coburn.
Hannah Fowler. Alexa Fritsch.
Christian Spay. Preston Reiner.
Mara Klessig. Brady Schmidt.
Evan Rell.
Caden Rummel.
Olivia Purcell.
Savannah Fent.
Mason Anderson Giles.
Jonathan Rober. Thomas Allen.
Emily Hughesman.
Peyton Luke.
Ava Shewitt. Hale Pendowski. Victor Serrano.
Evan Massenbrook. Ryan Braff.
Jack Schneiberg.
Josh Ivanovsky.
Connor Alcanor. Nolan Staley.
Darren Mundinger.
Alexander Monti.
Justin Sauer,
Jacob Staplefeld.
Keith Overman, Kevin Fitzgerald,
Stephanie Hartwell.
Regan Brem,
Bailey Williams. Kayla Barker.
Sean Hammond,
Riley Duffy.
Kenya, Luke Yonke, Sydney Owens,
Sarah Staplefeld. Elsa Caney. Rosemary Cleven. Morgan Krause.
Jordan Wiedemeyer, Cameron McCardle,
Jaden Mefford. Abby Nettesheim. Sarah Haithman.
Ben DeMai,
Andrew Jung.
Ian Jansen, Jonathan Lang, Nathan Warzala. Slow down.
Mia Cabrera.
Jenna Monday,
Brooke Volker. Alyssa Eilenfeld. Tessa Zirlo.
Jocelyn Clark, Sierra Erickson,
Tiana Sloan. Alexis Pertel. Kira Price.
Travis Wiesner, Dylan Dish,
Austin Wishnar.
Trent Weiler,
Sabrina Blummel.
Emily Nelson,
Kate Davies.
Claire Gustafson,
Margaret Rush. Anna Sajak.
Alyssa Byrne, Destiny Pullman, Mackenzie Phillips,
Natalie White. Lydia Winklebauer.
Emma Seimer, Emma Staddle,
Michaela Schur. Morgan Lichtensteiger.
Madeline Bagley, Brandon Slatinchek,
Joseph Nauman.
Morgan Thomas,
Genevieve Howe.
Tyler Zweig,
Mark Stevenson. Noelle Mensch.
Elizabeth Kluge, Alexandria Hernandez, Cole Hessler,
Matt Bell.
George Seaman,
Colin Schlamer.
Sam Gelnick,
Nadia Santamaria.
Alexander Fountain,
Crosby Slosher.
Alyssa Van Volta, sorry.
Xander Morehouse,
Caden Dura. Jenna Galler.
Joshua Axness,
Noah Lorenz. Alan Torres. Darren Harvey.
David Montellano,
Jake Formolo.
Toriano McAfee,
Jacob Lavanway.
Hannah Storley,
Veronica Sadonico.
Caden Gish,
Dawson Rondorf. Samantha May.
Trey Larson, Magdalena Hintz,
Nolan Rennick.
Carter Classy,
Michael Malwitz. Andrew Prinzel.
Jacob Kovalarczyk,
Dominic Champagne. Logan Schmidt. Clayton Schaefer.
Mason Zadroik, Kelly Nye,
Reese Gates.
Lucas Carls,
Matthew Winker.
Carson Zakowski,
TJ Subner.
Phoenix Deanport,
Colin Moore.
Zachary Farmer, Brady Steer,
Parker Remke. Thomas Swillinger. Jonathan Puebla. Maya Dodens.
Tyler Foth.
Congratulations, everyone. We are now to the point where we move our tassels. Please join us in moving your tassels from right to left.
Here to give today's closing remarks is Bella Falk. Bella is a member of cross country, track, and National Honor Society. Bella will be attending the University of Wisconsin lacrosse on a pre-law track.
Good morning, class of 2021. I know that I am the last thing standing between senior year and your freedom, so I will make this short and sweet. Congratulations, class of 2021. We did it! Okay, maybe not that short and sweet, but I hope you all got the reference. I'm standing here before you all today, and all I feel is pride. Everyone always says, don't take high school for granted. It flies by in the blink of an eye. Although this is true for our first 2 years, I wish I could look those peoples in the eye today and say, it's clear you haven't lived your past 2 years of high school through a global pandemic. Though these past 2 years have been anything but what we expected, a lot of valuable lessons have been learned, and we have come out stronger and better people because of it. I would like to share a quote with you from Amanda Gorman that couldn't be a better fit for the events of the past 2 years. For there is always light, if only we're brave enough to see it. If only we're brave enough to be it. I'm going to read these words again, and I really want you to think about them and really let them sink in. For there is always light, if only we're brave enough to see it. If only we're brave enough to be it. These words not only describe the past, but are words of wisdom for your future. When I read her words, it is a constant reminder that there is always good somewhere. We as people just have to be able to recognize the good and contribute to it. I look out into the crowd of peers and their family and see strong and capable individuals that are ready to take on their next steps. Though we all grew up and changed so much in high school, there is still so much room to grow and thrive. I look out and I realize that I will never see most of you again unless you count seeing the occasional social media post. But know you will all do well and succeed in life. It was an honor to stand before you and speak for your last 2 minutes of high school. Good luck to you all, and once again, congratulations, class of 2021. You did it.
I'd also like to thank all of the staff and students of West Bend East today for the outstanding efforts displayed throughout this year. None of us expected our senior year to end like this, but I know we would never forget it. I would also like to acknowledge that every single one of us has put in the work that allowed our class to walk across the stage today. Be proud of yourself, because you finally accomplished what the last 4 years was all for, graduation. So I ask all of you to exceed your expectations in life, but never forget where you came from.
Thank you. From the day we started learning how to read and write, we have all waited for this day to come. We have all made countless memories with everyone around us, and don't let those memories slip away with time. This may or may not be your last time seeing these faces, but they will always be in your heart. This school year has been one heck of a year, and lots of traditions were taken away from us, but we as a whole have come together to make this year unforgettable. This now commences. Congratulations, graduating class of 2021.
Thank you, Maya and Tyler, and thank you all for attending today's graduation ceremony. We wish you all a great rest of your day. We ask that all audience members remain seated until our speakers and graduates have left the field house. Students, you will be picking up your diplomas in the South Gym. At this time, we will begin by dismissing those on stage. Thank you. Followed by Ms. Thomas and Ms. Monday will help guide students out of the South Gym. We'll start over here and essentially single file, row by row. You two can leave.
been hustling and tonight is my appraisal. Cause I'm a hooker.